Hello, good day. So, today we'll be looking at something from a different point of view. You become a consultant and report. I'll show you you've been doing things, but you don't know that what you're doing is actually people are actually consulting for it from UK and are paying money for it. So, I want to actually expose you guys to what it takes to actually look at an expectation and actually write a report. We only look at one tool today, and you will build a report around the tool. You look at a vulnerability, and you build a report around it. So let me wait for others to join so that you can actually. Still updating no shoe. And then do you? No, it's enough for Control C. Monitor if you want to update. Clear. So how many of you have server? How many of you have a server IP? Server IP. Hello, please, if you are here, just tell me yes. Just say hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Okay. All right. We will not waste time. And let's look up. So go to any of those websites you've been attacking. So I say hello, how are you? www. Is it nigerianloaded.com? Is there any website like nigerianloaded.com? Okay, good. So you do what? Nicto. That's 2023. What I think you should do, it's are you all still there? Now, let's exploit this particular stuff for a port that is open. They now actually attack that port that is open with Nicto. Now, this is just taking it a step further. Oh, sorry, please. My bad. So let me cd to Python. So let's look up. Now we have this. Now let's use one of our tools to look at. I want to show you the full penetration testing or semi penetration testing. Now let's use one of our tools to actually do a recon. Do a recon. So we have port scanner, okay, Python 3. We have Python 3. So you can just enter www dot. So let's look at any open port and attack the port first. Let's see if there's any other open port. Sure. I think we are using the wrong. No wonder. I think we are using the wrong. We're using the wrong. We will not get any. We're using the wrong web. Control C. We're using. We're using the wrong distance. So that's why I had to look at it properly. Oh, this seems not. Why is it taking so much time? Oh, no wonder. Ah, think I we did something this morning, so I had to reset it. I was wondering what was happening. Uh-huh. Should be seeing ports immediately. No, Mr. Balao, I worked with somebody that they set up a private server for them. The range of the ports they were using were 60,000 to 65,000. So I had to modify the for loop to 60,000 to 65,000. So that was where it was kind of obviously there is no open port in that place. That's why it's taking so much time. So I was wondering, why is it taking so long? So they set up a private server for them. The server was hosted on that range of port. So we'll attack one of the open ports and see what it's like. So we will now treat each of the vulnerability. So this is only two, but I want you to people fully know how you fully exhaust a okay. I don't know if you have seen this. Sorry, let me bring it up. So these are the five stages of hacking. The first thing is what? Reconnaissance, active information gathering. Before you do anything, you have to gather information about what you want to do. You have to know. So I want to build the stage. This is what hacking is all about. So we are doing reconnaissance, we are doing scanning. The next thing is what? Gaining access, maintaining access, then covering tracks. Those are the five stages of hacking. So all you've been doing is what? Trying to actually go get what? Gather information. So let's just wait till it's finished scanning. Then I think it's almost done. It has gotten to 443. It's almost done. So If you take Nikto, first let's do NS lookup so that we can know the address of the. So the address is 104.21.26. So we can do Nikto. It's a port is default 18. What's happening? Oh, sorry. Let's take 25. Let's try 25 first. I didn't declare the port. So we'll try it on port 25, we'll try it on port 20, port 80, then we'll try it on port 443. So you see the normally it should be able if there is a server being hosted on that website, you should pick the server name, the software of the server, it will pick all the informations on that particular server. Then vulnerabilities will be picked. This is Nikto. So we'll be looking at okay, that means on this particular port, there's no web server. Now let's take 80. So you see, are you seeing? So it has picked on port 80, there is a web server. It will pick further server is Cloudflare. Do you people know what they call XSS protection? So is now what I want us to do is when it finishes listing the vulnerability, you study those vulnerability one by one and understand it. So if while it's actually you can start the same thing on your system, because this is what we are going to work on. While we are actually, you see that we had to, the lower one is actually the IP address. We can still try target that 172 to see if there is vulnerability. Somebody can actually do that. Try to actually use Nikto on 172 port 80. Somebody can do that, and actually, so that we can work on both of them, actually study the vulnerabilities. So what you'll be doing is this. So it's a recon tool. It's a complex tool for actually gathering information. That is, you see what it does now. It picks out all the vulnerabilities in a particular server. It's actually used to do a server tool. So as you can see, it's only actually attack web servers. Use the one, try the one for, we are using 104.21. Use 172. I don't understand. What do you mean by cross-site scripting? What do you mean by using cross-site scripting? No, it does not attack the server using cross-site scripting. It identifies sites. Now, one of the ways you actually, because what you are doing is what I did throughout today for a client. Now, what is cross-site scripting? What is cross-site scripting? That is actually the first question. Okay, sorry. Let me see what Mr. Ilori is doing. Cross-site scripting is actually when you actually try to manipulate. Okay, there's no web server on that. So the web server is actually hosted on the other IP. That is actually why you can actually get that. Now, cross-site scripting is actually implemented to lure people to actually part with their credentials on the site. Now, there are two ways to mitigate it from the user end, or you actually implement a frame stuff on your particular network, on your particular website. As you can see, these guys are actually using what? A very advanced server. It's Cloudflare. That's why you see you have not been able to gather information. If I Control C now from it and actually try another website. Now let's try on another website. The server there, if it's an Apache server, it would have actually started bringing out what? A lot of what? They are using Cloudflare. Now let's look at another example. Let's look NS lookup. Okay, which site is this? Which site is this? Hello, Mrs. Grace. Which site is this? Now, I'm trying to call your attention now to Mr. Distin. Are you seeing that it's an Apache server? So the first thing is anti-click jacking X-frame option header is not present. Now you did not see that because what that Cloudflare is actually working against it. You understand? So they've already implemented that X-frame here. So you cannot lose your credentials on this particular on the server. Now the type of the server actually matters. You understand? So okay. So are you getting it? So let's use that as an example here, because I'm looking for, so that you'll be able, let me clear. Not about.com. So this is an Apache server. So normally it will give you all the vulnerabilities that you need to see, and you now look at points of what exploiting them. Now, one thing you can do is to go here, come here. So you can come to the CV details site. You now pick what you look at the vulnerability. There's not really defined yet. So if you copy this one, copy selection, so that you look at what the vulnerability, you paste here. If you click on this, it will show you what the vulnerability. Now it's 4.3. 4.3 is actually minimal. It's not a very high. A missing X-frame header in the NDS utility monitor used by remote attackers for click jacking. Are you getting it? This is now how you actually look at it. Now, there's something we call what? I don't know. Can you all see my screen, please? Can you all see my screen? There's something we call CVE score. Please, what's the meaning of CVE? Common vulnerability and exposures. That's the meaning. Now, sorry, I think I saw it just now. CVE. So if this, so for 4.3 is actually this is it. So 0, low, medium. 4.3 is medium. 7 point, let me take this and share it with you people. So that is how you manage an exploit very well. So if you are looking at it, it is actually still so you see it's still working. Let it finish. So as you are seeing those exploits, it has not properly named this even at that this particular server was what configured. You only know it's Apache. You don't know the flavor of Apache. You have Apache 2.4.13. Now, if you come here, you notice that there are different types of Apache. So you don't have enough information on how to exploit. They have supposed to be here. So you see, they come in 2.4.50, 2.4. They come in different, but this one the information you're only allowed to see is what Apache server Apache. Now, likewise, the other one is because they've configured the website very well that you have access to limited or no information. Are you getting it? You have access to what limited or no information. The proper was not proper. The server was properly configured. Some servers are not properly configured. That you can easily use configurations like this. You get what you get lots of information from them. So are you getting it? So this is how you do it. You come here, you analyze what the CV details. So 4.3, as you can see, is actually mild. Now, confidential impact, there's no impact on confidentiality of the system. So it barely does not have any impact on the system. But authentication is not required to exploit the vulnerability. Now, the vulnerability of this one is what is you can actually hack into this particular with no, it doesn't have a username or password. But this vulnerability is actually mild. Integrity, modification of the system files and information is possible, but the attacker does not have control over what can be modified, or the scope of the attacker can affect what, or the scope of what the attacker can affect is limited. So this particular vulnerability is what is mild. So when you are actually doing from here, please, if you come back to this place, when you are doing your recon and scanning, what exactly are you looking for? What exactly are you looking for? You understand? These are the informations you are looking for. Possible vulnerability with ICVE score that you can easily what? Attack. It's at the place of attack you now start doing what? Exploitation. It's yeah, what kind of information are you gathering? These are the information you are gathering. Open holes and vulnerability. Now, as you can see, this particular website too, there are not much information or vulnerability we can actually gather. If you do Control C, you try another website. Let's try to see. I'm trying to see. Do you know any website that is actually not too strong that we can look at possible Nigerian websites? Look at, okay, bookerhout.com. BUKKHUT. BUKKHUT. NS local. So again, this one is actually properly configured. As you can see, you can only get Apache. The type of the Apache, it's not actually telling you. So that is actually what you use this particular tool for. So basically, what I want to expose YouTube people to, it's I think let's AE travels. Okay. Can you screenshot what you are getting from them? If you are seeing any vulnerability, screenshot it. Let's actually check it from the CVE data and the CWE data. So it's from there you now look at vulnerability, then you now actually know the the severity of the vulnerability and exposure. Then you can now actually exploit it. So please, you can try your hands. What we want to do today is this: try your hands on a website. Now, take it as if a client came to meet you, telling you to actually give him a report on penetration testing on that website. What are you supposed to do? Impact, come here. Impact of what? Which tool are you using to test the website? The impact of the tool on the website. So if you look at all these places, the severity of the vulnerability, the impact of the tool on the website, possible solutions. Now it lets you know now. You've been saying this particular stuff now. If you look at this, you will see it on our website. You should know that once this particular stuff, as you are seeing anti-clicking, that means they did not implement what? X-frame. What's this? See? What's happening there? Sorry, I think I pressed the wrong thing. So it lets you know that they did not implement X-frame on the site. So you can tell I hope you understand. This is how you get if you are talking about Amazon. So you see that what is that okay, copy that uncommon header. Are you guys seeing that stuff? Copy that uncommon header. Go and paste it in CVE. Go and paste it on this website and see the vulnerability. Come and paste it here. Copy the old uncommon header paste it here. And look for the vulnerability. Okay, sorry. Sorry, please. Please kindly note somebody we are trying to recruit. Okay, please pick that uncommon header. Okay. I can't pick it from here. So for this particular he said it's ahiatravels.com. He's using the what he's looking at is what ahiatravels.com. So let's come here. Google. So okay, this is the website. So that's the website. So if you come here, if I Control C, if I clear, and let's look up. So Nicto 157.90.36.208. So that's exactly the same thing. Now for this one, we don't know the name of the server. So as you can see, the more you are doing, let me see, what's the severity? So the severity is not high. So the severity is not high. So the severity of that particular, so that is actually how you actually know what and what information gathering. What and what. So if you look at this stage, reconnaissance, scanning, enumeration, nmap, all those things you are doing, you are trying to gather information about what ports that are open, what vulnerability. Now the next stage is what ascertaining what the actual vulnerability. The next stage is ascertaining app. The next stage is actually it's what So, guys, this is how you actually investigate vulnerability, and you actually this is actually how you investigate and actually get out this is how you investigate and actually get out vulnerabilities. You understand? And they might even ask you. Normally, the way they do it is this, so that you get it. They might just give you what? An IP address. Now, the IP address is a configured server with vulnerabilities already. It's a configured server with vulnerabilities already. So you will now actually use Nicto. You investigate what those vulnerabilities. Then you now come up with a report. The report is what? The severity now. The severity of the vulnerability. The severity. Now you've seen CVE. Now let's look at CWE. It's a website you go to. To common weakness and enumeration. So this is where you actually rate what, if it's what. Okay. So that is what we are supposed to do today. That is what we are supposed to do today. Pick vulnerabilities, go to these two websites, check them, check the severity, then actually know possible exploitation on how to. As we are looking at it now, we've looked at 10 different websites. You can see that this particular stuff keep what? Reoccurring. Now, if you pick this, copy selection, you come to Google. So are you guys seeing? So this is it. This is how you solve the problem. So if you're actually handling a client, so that is actually how you. So this is actually how you handle that. So you should actually missing extreme option header severity low. Are you seeing it? You keep seeing it. Extreme option header is not present. This is the solution. Please, if you are following me, your network is not getting results. Which site are you actually handling? You tried it on. Can you screenshot, please? Can you screenshot what you are saying? Class, please, if you are following me, you understand. So I want us to be able to put it all together, not just using tool. The importance of the tool. Now you use it to detect problem. Those problems can be solved. Are you getting it? So if this is a problem, how do you solve it? This is actually how you solve it. This is one. Then this is two. They call it clickjacking. So this shows you how you solve it. So if you're handling any client, so immediately you see that stuff any day, you know the solution to it. So there are tons of vulnerabilities. Let me see. Sorry, 1 minute. Is it not same AI travels? Is it not the same? It's because we are doing it at the same time now. You understand? Maybe it's because we are actually testing it at the same time. Like shit, you understand? Maybe we are because we are attacking it at the same time. That is why it's not responding. You understand? So you can try another website to actually confirm if your Nicto is working. Maybe because we are attacking it at the same time. You understand? It's the server is already engaged. So that is actually now if you pick this, so when you see this particular, you look at the vulnerability. So if you are doing anything penetration testing, this is actually how it is done. You look for possible ways to hack into the site. So if you're able to break in, you tell them, okay, I am in. These are the it's not defined. If it's not defined, solution, set the XSS protection header reference. Are you getting it? So as you are telling them what you are seeing, you tell them what they need to do. Reference, adding your HTTP response header. If you if you click on it, it will tell you how to harden it. Content security policy. So are you following me? Okay, can you update and upgrade, please? Can you upgrade? Can you do something like this? Sorry. Do something like this. Hello, Mr. Solomon. I don't understand your question, please. Please, house, if you are following what I'm trying to do, I hope, okay, well, I hope you guys understand what we are trying to achieve. This is actually how you actually handle handle testing. You understand? You must understand where you are going to, where you are heading to, the information you are getting from each of the tests. You should be able to interpret it and actually refer what a solution. So I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you guys are following me. Okay, so that is actually how, we've done a lot of stuff. Now, if you go back to the commands we have used, now I think MP scan. Is it? We use some tools, so you should be able to actually identify what those. Can you go back to the tools we used that we are showing you some information? LBD. We use something like LBD, www. dot sysec tph dot net. Now, from what you are saying, from what you, because I want you people to understand what is the essence of this load balancing. From, you should have seen some message in Nikto. Nikto will tell you that it looks as if the server just changed name. Load balancing has been implemented. Now, this load balancing helps what? Keeps changing the for those who actually do telecom, because of the frequency hopping. When the frequency is hopping, it's like a chameleon. You don't know its color. So that is what this load balancing does. It helps you. You cannot easily grab if you want to actually attack and grab it keeps rebalancing, and it's not easy to actually grab information. So that is what this does. So the more you actually make use of these two sites, the more you understand what those information, because you keep seeing them, you don't understand what they mean, and you cannot provide solution. You cannot provide solution to them. So I don't know if it's becoming interesting. If you are not following me, let me know. We can do another tool. We can use all those tools so that you can now start try to relate what those things you have been seeing and what they mean. You don't just discover a problem. You should be able to actually provide a solution to the client. You understand? If I'm the client, you are telling me that this and this are actually happening on my site. First, I ask you, then what is the solution? What is the severity? So please, can we? Okay. So let's start looking at all those stuff you have been looking at, DNS, all those stuff you have been looking at. Okay, it was not able to actually discover anything on this one. So once you see any vulnerability, you take it to those sites, check the severity, check then what solutions do we have for it. That is actually how you actually get it done. So I don't know if you have questions. Let me pause, because it's not copy and paste this thing. Sure. It's not copy and paste lecture. Please, if you have questions, let me know. I have shared it. I have shared it. I have shared it before. Sorry. So this is the wow. There are only two sites. This is CWE, then the other one is CVE, CVE details. There are only two sites. This is CWE, then we have CVE details. So this is Act the Box. So we have CVE details. So this is the other this is the other website. So enter a CVID product vulnerability type. Are you saying it? Once you get there, you enter the vulnerability. It shows you what? It shows you what and what. Paste. Sorry. That's that. So please, if you have question, let me know. So I want us to be able to put everything together. When you are scanning, the essence of the port scanner. Okay. There is a site we actually looked at. I pray I have not actually. Let me clear. There is one of the sites we actually looked at. We can repeat it. It is before this AE travel. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. Now, when you see a place where they tell you that like the server has changed name or something, that load balancing is implemented, that is the function of that load balancing. You will see it as a comment. Now, the load balancing help prevent what? For Jack. Now, you can see that they know that it's Apache, but you don't know what? You don't know the actual version of the Apache server. Some, you don't even see the name. You understand? It will tell you that the banner cannot be grabbed. You understand? So when it tells you that the server has changed name, load balancing is implemented. That is the essence of that load balancing. So, Mrs. Grace, I don't know if I ever answered your question. It helps what in preventing it helps in preventing what? Hijacking of server name. So Are you sure? And that side does not have load balancing. Can you give us the IP of that site? You understand? Control C, NS lookup. So I'm sure you are now you say it's what Marvel Mav Herbals. Sorry, I think I used it wrong. It's Mav Mavharbals. Mav Herbals. Okay, if we now look at Nikto 66.23.236.66. Now, you don't need to actually sweat too much. You can come here, come to Google. So Google is still your best companion. LDD. Load balancing. So what happens if the load balancer fail? So you can get all those information here. So I think this is what you so the Google is still the best where to get. Are you saying it? So if you come back, so it's not it's always just a 3 minute read up. Sorry. This so Miss Grace, you have enough information on load balancing. So The good thing about it is once you start spotting that is where experience now start coming in. As you can see, we have tried several sites. The same thing keeps reoccurring. Once you know the solution, you refer the solution, you solve it to them. You understand? So you spot the error, you're able to refer. You're able to refer. So that is basically, we're trying to put everything together. Are you seeing? Are you seeing what I was trying to explain? Server banner has changed from to immunity, in which suggests metadata is a WAF. Load balancer or proxy is in place. Are you seeing it? So that is the essence of all those stuff. So this actually brings us to the hands of tools. Now, if we come back to this place, sorry, they will soon put on the light. What you've been trying to do or what you are doing now is what you are gathering information. Scanning and enumeration is just gathering information. Now you'll be moving to, I think the next thing you'll be doing in Python, because we'll finish that stuff tomorrow, that variability scanner tomorrow. Then you'll be doing, is it? Okay. 1 minute. When you see something like this, normally there's no serious vulnerability on this. You understand? There's no serious vulnerability on this. If there was serious vulnerability, you would have actually seen it. Now, when you come to that website called CVE details, this is not actually, you see possible vulnerability type. I seen a missing what is telling you that the X-frame option header is not present. And I think I went to a site and I showed you how to fix it. I went to a site and I showed you what you need to do to fix it. This is clickjacking. I went to another site and showed you what you need to do to actually fix it. No. So now when you see something like this, you click on it. It will tell you there's a lot of, now it will tell you the severity of the vulnerability. This is common vulnerability and exposure. Now the impact, integrity impact, modification of the system files and information is possible, but the attacker does not have control over what can be modified or the scope. So now somebody attacking using this particular track, it does not require authentication. Now, how do you fix it? You understand? Because if you spotted this, how do you fix it? This is part of how you fix it. These people are just trying to sell their own. So Impeva WAF. So they are trying to sell their own product. Use code like the following, provide OWASP start testing guide. So limitations of X-frame options. So it's by what adding X-frame. So once you go online, you see configuration and how to mitigate those vulnerability. That is where you are now gathering what experience. So when you now solve such issues in real life scenario, what I'm actually trying to expose you to what this is how it is in real life scenario. You understand? So by the time you are managing a site, you are seeing these loopholes, you are advising the team to block it, you know what to do. So you are hiding technical capability. Mr. Ilori, I don't know if I've answered your question. Okay, I'll beg you guys, I need to close by 9:30 today. I have to run. So what we need to do, what we have done so far, so that I want you people to have a bird's view of what you're doing. What you're doing is what you are gathering information. You are exposing yourself to tools. The next tool will be developed. Now, by the time you actually there is a network aspect of it. There is the web app aspect of it. Now, mostly what we are trying to do is we are not actually specific on web app or what network, but mostly from the network. You have Eternal Blue, you have Reverse Shell, you have Kebe Roasting, you have a lot within the network. Now, in a standard network, what happens in a standard network? You have the switch, you have the router, you have the systems communicating with the router. So the next code you'll be writing is app spoofing. They call it man in the middle. So if with all this, you're able to gain access. You're able to gain access. The next thing is what? You now mimic the router. When you mimic the router, you are now getting information from everybody. They will communicate with you, taking their communicating with the router. Are you getting it? So you are now expanding your knowledge on how to actually hack. Now, when you finish hacking, you now start looking at hardening the what network, hardening the network. What you need to do to harden the network, hardening the HTTP. So those are how you learn these things. We're just touching it on the surface. One is penetration. You have seen a loophole. Now you are now actually getting. You see, maintaining access. You understand? It's now how do they communicate? They communicate with, because you'll be looking at this tool. Control C. You'll be looking at this tool. They call it CAPI. Packet. That is packet. All they do was they communicate through packets. The host destination. Once you can actually retrieve the MAC address, you now send a malicious packet. From the malicious packet, you do what? If you come to your command prompt here, so you see it gives you all this stuff. The first thing you see is what? When you see these two things that are dynamic, one is your what? Your router. One is your router address, and one is your what? Your own address. Anytime you come here and you notice that these two MAC address, that these two things that are dynamic, they have the same MAC address. Somebody is already spoofing your app. Somebody is doing you app spoofing. You understand? Is making what? Your MAC address to become its own. You understand? That is how you actually note it. You can still come here. I'm not sure it's the same command. I can exit. So these are the things you'll be exposed to. I think that they are different MAC address. So the more you are learning, the more you are getting more skills on how to. You see, that is why it's the in-depth of your knowledge that makes you well paid. Now you're just scratching surface, you are scanning port, you are grabbing banner, you are looking for what information do you have? Enough information. Somebody coming to steal. We have enough information to actually carry out this operation. So you're looking at possible information. Now, when you get in, what are the first thing you need to do? That's what we call the responder. Now, the responder, you normally initiate the responder when you're in the network, when they are just coming in. Now, because when they are coming in, they're always communicating with the responder can initiate a false what? I think I've actually I've shown you that on what is it, what you call, what's the name of this tool called? Sniffer, one of the sniffer. So device communicates by packets. So you can actually what? Create a malicious packet mimicking another device and send it to the router. The router will now spoof the router's mark. So all of them will be communicating with you, thinking what? They are communicating with the router. From there, you are extracting what? Relevant information. That is what they use the Scapy for. So we'll take a pause here. So tomorrow we finalize. So as you can see, it's no longer basic command line. You are going very deep. So this, what you know, is to now standardize the knowledge, how you present it to a client. Because all you are learning is what you want to sell it to the employer. So tomorrow we start the same time. We finish everything about our vulnerability scanner. I think the next thing we're doing is password sniffer. So we do password sniffer. We now move to that's brute forcer. They call it brute forcer. Then we now move to what? This app spoofer. So please, if you have any question, you can ask. So you've learned a lot. Those tools, you've learned a lot. It's how to now understand the function of all those tools. Please, if you have any question, you can ask. In the absence of no question, I wish you all happy weekend. I've actually been here for a while. I was trying to do some technical upgrade. I actually need to rush into a meeting and get rest. So we see tomorrow.